Welcome to week 2 of Leadership and Communication, Organizational Leadership and COM, or Goal 3700. This week we get into the meat of the course, and the meat comes very quickly with the potatoes on the side because we only have 8 weeks to do what we used to do for these kinds of courses in 15 or 16 weeks. So what I've set up for you for week 2 is to begin to think about and identify a workplace communication problem. And I've given you a template for writing this problem up. Definition of the problem, an analysis of the problem, and then potential solutions to the problem. I do not expect you to solve the problem with this worksheet. What I expect you to do is to identify potential solutions to the problem. And the idea of this particular exercise, this handout, is to get you thinking about your workplace, to get you to dive in and open your eyes up and begin to think about the kinds of communication issues that your workplace faces. And I mean your immediate workplace. So what I'm not interested in is whether or not Judy and John don't get along and they're having a fight and it makes the atmosphere in the office toxic. What I'm not interested in is if your supervisor is a particularly difficult person to get along with and you don't feel like you can communicate with this person effectively, although that could be worked into a final workplace communication project. What I'm interested in is your thinking in terms of the kinds of social semiotics, multimodal communication that you're going to be reading about for this course and that you're going to begin to read about in this week, and which you would have begun to read about also last week in the Culture, Semiotics, and Rhetoric handout. In other words, I'm interested in your looking at a problem that could eventuate into a proposal that you would make to me and your supervisor for some sort of project, some sort of communication project that would enhance and enrich or make more effective the communication in your workplace. In the past, students have done a variety of different things for the proposal and for the project. They've done onboarding manuals. They've done policy and procedure manual. They've prepared PowerPoint presentations and handouts for particular aspects of more effective communication in their workplaces. The sky really is the limit here, and I do want you to think creatively and imaginatively. I want you to think about what you can do in the next 7 weeks to make some aspect of your communication in your workplace more effective. So, in the best of all possible worlds, and I know this is not the best of all possible worlds, but even in this world, it's possible to link the communication problem, week 2, with the communication proposal, week 3, and the proposal is about the project that you intend to turn in week 7 and week 8. So, as I said, this is the meat of the course. This is where the rubber hits the road. This is where theory becomes practice. This is where you do an analysis of your workplace communication practices, a kind of communication audit, and begin to ask, is there a piece of this that could be improved within 8 weeks? And that's a really difficult task. That was even difficult when I would do these sorts of projects for courses that were 15 and 16 weeks long. What I'm really interested in seeing is your ability to isolate and analyze a workplace communication problem. Begin to brainstorm about potential solutions, which might include the creation of a website, the creation of a database, the creation of a PowerPoint presentation, any number of things. I want you to brainstorm about solutions to that particular problem. And then I want you to meet with your supervisor And I want you to have the courage to go to your supervisor and say, yeah, I've taken this course in leadership and communication, and I'd like to work on some project that will enhance the communication in our workplace. And believe it or not, 9 out of 10 and perhaps 99 out of 100 supervisors are open to this kind of project. And I've been at Robert Morris now for 20 years, and I've been doing these kinds of projects in communication classes for these 20 years. And invariably, supervisors, managers will respond very positively to this and give you something to do. And that's where it gets kind of exciting, because if this course is about leadership and communication, what that means is that even if you have not taken the lead on anything in the past in any way whatsoever in your workplace, this is now your opportunity to shine. So you put together your analysis of the problem and potential solutions to the problem this week. Next week, you're going to start writing up a proposal, which you'll submit by the end of the week. And you'll meet with your manager or supervisor and talk about potential problems that you could address, that you, by working on some project, could enhance, enrich, make better the communication in your workplace. And so then, in the end, in week 7 and week 8, you will turn in, I think it's week 8, you will turn in what you have produced. So there will be deliverables for the project, and it is in your best interest, trust me, to be able to link the communication problem with the communication proposal and the communication project at the end of the semester. And as I said, this is the meat of the course. This is where the rubber hits the road. This is where theory becomes practice. This is where you get to shine also, ostensibly and potentially, as a leader, because you'll take the lead on this project. And that's the other piece of it that I really want for you guys. I want you to shine. I want you to pick something that's doable, or at least that you can start. Last semester I had a student who's in the military, and to even get the project approved will take another year. But the student put together all of the materials that would be utilized in the project and all of the documentation. And that's the kind of thing I want to see. Even if the project can't be implemented, it can at least be in its initial stages of design. And that's the important part for this course. But invariably, even with these short 8-week sessions, students have been able to pull together some pretty cool projects, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you folks will come up with. So that's pretty much it for the introduction to the workplace communication problem, the workplace communication proposal, and the workplace communication project. Stay tuned, more to come.